we had mentioned this before the show started, so I do want to ask you this as a non-Buffalo fan. What happens to McDermott? What happens to this Buffalo Bills coaching team? Like, how many times do we have to get to this point before something changes? Because Josh isn't getting any younger. And I just feel like it's the 90s all over again, you know? So where does the line get drawn in the sand where we say, hey, you're doing great, you're winning football games, you're getting us to playoffs, but you're just not crossing the threshold to get to the big game?
I gotta say, I used to be like, I think it might be time to move on from McDermott, but this year, I would understand if they did it, if they just felt like, look, he's not going to get us over the hump, that's fine. But I don't think this was on McDermott. Like, this was supposed to be a rebuild year. A lot of people thought they were going to miss the playoffs. They went 13-4, battled for the 1 seed, made it to the AFC Championship game in Arrowhead, and lost by 3. I don't know what else McDermott could do when you get the ball down 3 with 3 minutes left. I know he doesn't call offensive plays. My question would be this, because I could understand if the Bills Mafia or if Bills fans and everybody was like, hey, we're going to try something different. I get that. My question would be, who? Like, do you have, if we're just firing McDermott because he can't beat Andy Reid and Mahomes, it's like, okay,
that's short-sighted.
Man, like that's hard. Is there someone out there that you think is going to be spectacular or be a lot better? Because I don't know. I watched Sean McDermott spank Harbaugh last week. I watched him spank Sean Payton. I watched him spank everybody and then go toe-to-toe with Andy Reid. There was a time where I thought McDermott might have been the problem, but honestly, after their rally last year and how well they played this year, I don't watch what happened and feel like, oh, if they were better coached, they could have done things. I thought they exceeded their talent all season.
Yeah, I think we need to do a better job at building up the defense a little bit more. I think we have some key pieces there that needs to be elevated. But yeah, I think McDermott earned himself at least another year. But at some point, I don't care how good you are and how well you can hang your hat on the season, and you can say, well, it wasn't the coaching. It was just, we were just outplayed. It was just this. It was just that. At some point, they're going to want a championship because everybody in Buffalo, from the owner down, believes that Josh Allen's the guy that can get you to the Super Bowl. And so if he's playing good, which you could argue that, he's probably played his best football this year that he's ever played. What's the other problem? People look at two things when it comes to championships. It's quarterback and it's coaches.
Yes, and as we've said before, coaches and quarterback combos that don't make it to the Super Bowl in their first 5 years have never made it. Obviously, their past 5 years, they have been. I can understand the argument you saying, hey, we just need something fresh, whether they're better or not.
And I'm not saying either which way.
No, I know. It's a fair question.
And honestly,
because if not now, when?
If we had somebody else to turn to, I wouldn't be upset if we parted ways.
Yeah.
And I don't think McDermott would be that upset. I know that's crazy, but I think he would be like, hey, I get it. I felt more different last year. It's like when you let the Chiefs beat you in Buffalo last year. Yeah.
You had this year going into Arrowhead and losing like that against. It'd be like, are we going to fire somebody for losing to Michael Jordan in the playoffs? Right. It is tough.
But this isn't his first time.
No, I understand. He can't. It's 0-4. He's 0-4 against them. Yeah.
He's 0-4 in big games. And that has to matter. And this whole stat about, quarterback head coach combos that have been together for 5 years, hadn't made it past that.
They don't.
That's got to be in the back of their heads. So I just don't know that that's not going to happen in the future. I don't know that McDermott's not going to have that conversation. I'm not saying he's on the hot seat at all. Like I said, I think he probably earned himself another year. But if there was a pivot, if we could have got Ben Johnson, I would have been super happy about that.
I totally understand that. I think it's fair. I think it'll be interesting to watch it and see how it plays out. Either way, both these teams, arguably the two best teams in the league. I know Eagles fans would disagree, but we're going to see that matchup. An incredible football game. Patrick Mahomes trying to do the impossible, and it was not easy. Josh Allen gave him all he could handle. But ultimately, Mahomes did what Mahomes does, and he is daddy again.
Good job.
Great game, and Super Bowl is coming. We'll talk more about it in the next week.